Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how frustrating it is when you buy a big container of spinach or lettuce?
Right.
Like all set to make healthy salads all week, and then like 2 days later, it's already wilted and slimy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're tackling that very problem today. We're diving into this botanical extract called L44F, which is supposed to naturally make produce last way longer.
Interesting.
Like imagine if your spinach stayed fresh for like twice as long.
Wow, yeah, that would be amazing.
So we've got this document from Miracle Everyday, it's called.
Okay.
Enhancing Vegetable Shelf Life and Business Growth with Miracle Everyday L44F.
Right.
Let's see if it lives up to all the hype.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think we all know that frustration of, like, opening the fridge and your lettuce is already wilted or the spinach is all soggy and it's a bummer, but it's also, like you said, a huge problem.
Yeah.
Like, globally, this food waste is a massive issue.
Yeah.
You know, wasted money, wasted resources.
For sure.
And it even hurts the environment.
It's so true. Like, I know I throw out way too many sad-looking veggies, and it makes you feel guilty.
Yeah.
But why is it that leafy greens go bad so fast? Like, other veggies seem to last a bit longer.
Oh, they're super delicate.
Yeah.
Right? Packed with water, thin leaves.
Right.
It's basically a perfect environment for all those microbes.
Oh, so they
Bacteria and fungi are having a feast in there.
It's like a little buffet.
It is. It really is.
So it's like a race against time as soon as you get them home from the store.
Totally. And it's not even just the microbes.
Oh.
The greens themselves, they have these natural enzymes that cause discoloration and like they change the texture.
Yeah.
Almost like they're designed to self-destruct.
That's wild. It makes you wonder how they even make it to the grocery store in the first place.
Right. And then, of course, you add in like temperature, humidity, how you store them.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff.
It all matters. It's a delicate balance.
So now that we know WHY, it's such a challenge. Let's talk about this L44F.
Okay.
What I find interesting is it's from botanical extracts, which seems like a more natural approach than like all those synthetic preservatives.
Absolutely. People are definitely looking for more natural solutions, and the science behind it is really cool.
Yeah.
L44F has these bioflavonoids, which are like natural compounds found in plants.
Oh, wow.
And they act like these tiny warriors, fighting off those nasty microbes that spoil our food.
Wow.
And keeping everything fresher and more colorful for longer.
So it's like fighting a two-front war.
Exactly. On one hand, they're tackling bacteria, fungi, even some viruses.
Wow.
They basically disarm these microbes and stop them from causing damage.
And on the other hand?
And on the other, they prevent that browning, the enzymatic browning.
Yeah.
So your produce keeps those vibrant, fresh colors we all love.
So no more brown lettuce hiding in the back of my fridge. Sign me up.
Exactly.
But honestly, this sounds almost too good to be true. Like, what's the catch? Are there downsides we should be aware of?
It's a good point. We always need more research to really understand everything.
Yeah.
Especially the long-term effects and any potential downsides.
Okay, so like what kind of downsides?
Well, we need to make sure it's totally safe to eat over long periods.
Makes sense.
And think about things like, could microbes eventually become resistant to L44F?
That's a good point. Similar to antibiotics and that whole problem.
It's a valid concern.
So let's say this L44F really does what it claims.
Okay.
Could it have an impact beyond just making our salads last longer? Like, is this a bigger deal?
Oh, absolutely. Think bigger picture. This could be huge for the whole food industry.
Okay, how so?
Ensuring a steady supply of fresh produce and cutting down on waste are massive issues globally.
Yeah, for sure.
Both economically and environmentally.
Makes sense. Like, less waste means using less land and water and energy to grow food that just ends up in the trash. But wait, you said earlier it wasn't just for leafy greens.
Right.
I was picturing this as like the solution to my sad spinach problem.
I know, but that's what's so exciting.
Okay.
It actually works on all sorts of foods, raw, cut, even processed.
What?
Even meat and fish.
No way.
Imagine how much spoilage we could reduce across the whole food supply chain.
Okay, so this is way bigger than just perky spinach.
Right.
This is like a potential revolution in how we keep all food fresh.
It really could be.
But how does this help the average person like me? What are the direct benefits?
Well, think about it. Less waste means you're going to the grocery store less often.
Okay, less grocery shopping. I like that.
Less money spent on food that goes bad.
Yes.
Plus, because it prevents oxidation, L44F helps preserve all those good vitamins and minerals.
Oh, so it's not just about looks?
Right. The quality's better too?
So it's potentially good for the planet, good for businesses, and good for our health. But how easy is this stuff to use? Like, would I need some fancy equipment at home to keep my veggies fresh longer?
It seems pretty straightforward, actually.
Okay.
It can be applied in different ways, like dipping, fogging, or spraying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's adaptable to different settings.
That's good.
From large-scale production to your own kitchen counter.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this all sounds super promising.
Right.
What's Miracle Everyday saying about this L44F? Are they as hyped about it as we are?
Oh, they're calling it a revolutionary solution for the whole fresh produce industry.
Wow.
They think it has the potential to meet market demands, reduce waste, and make the food system more sustainable.
Those are some bold claims.
They are, but while we should always be a little skeptical,
yeah, of course,
the potential benefits are definitely worth exploring further.
I totally agree. I'm really curious to see like the research behind L44F and maybe explore those applications you mentioned in like medicine and agriculture and even cosmetics.
Yeah, let's dive into all that in part 2. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right back into L44F.
Okay.
We've talked about how it can make our food last longer, but I'm curious about, like, the actual science behind it.
Yeah, that's important.
Like, what's the proof that this stuff actually works?
Well, the research on L44F is still ongoing.
Okay.
But there have already been some really exciting studies.
Oh, yeah.
That show just how effective it can be.
Okay.
One study I saw, they tested L44F on spinach.
Okay.
And the spinach that was treated with it stayed fresh for like 14 days.
14 days?
Compared to only 7 days for the untreated spinach.
Wow, that's double the shelf life. I can already see the impact on my grocery bill.
Exactly, and it wasn't just about how it looked.
Okay.
The study also measured things like nutrient content and bacterial growth.
Right, the important stuff.
And the spinach treated with L44F, it kept more of its vitamins.
Oh, wow.
And had way fewer bacteria.
So it's not just like masking the wilting. It's actually keeping the food better quality. Yeah, and safer too.
That's amazing. Have they seen similar results with other types of produce?
Absolutely. Studies on strawberries have shown that L44F can really reduce decay, keep them firm, and extend their shelf life by several days.
Okay, so we're not just talking about leafy greens here.
Nope.
Seems like this L44F could be a game changer for a lot of different fruits and veggies.
Yeah, that's what makes it so promising.
Right.
Researchers are exploring its potential for all sorts of produce.
Yeah.
And even meat and fish.
Hold on, meat and fish?
Yeah.
I thought this was all about produce.
I know, right? It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But remember those antimicrobial properties?
Yeah.
They're not just limited to the bacteria that affect produce.
Okay.
It can also stop the growth of bacteria that cause meat and fish to spoil.
So it's like a secret weapon against spoilage no matter what kind of food we're talking about.
Exactly.
This could seriously reduce waste across the entire food industry.
It really could. Imagine food staying fresher for so much longer. Less waste, lower costs, and more people having access to good, nutritious food.
That's an amazing thought. But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Are there any risks or downsides to using this L44F?
You're right. We need to look at both sides.
Yeah.
That's why more research is so important.
Okay, so what kind of risks?
Well, some scientists are worried about microbes potentially becoming resistant to L44F.
Oh, like with antibiotics.
Exactly. If we overuse it,
right,
we could end up with superbugs that L44F can't control anymore.
That's a scary thought.
It is a valid concern.
Yeah.
And researchers are studying it to figure out how to use L44F responsibly.
Okay, good.
To prevent resistance from happening.
So it sounds like we need a balanced approach.
Right.
Use its potential, but also be aware of the risks.
Exactly.
But even with that, the possibilities are super exciting.
I agree. It's amazing how nature can provide these kinds of solutions to some of our biggest problems.
This deep dive has definitely changed how I think about keeping food fresh.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that L44F could be used for more than just food.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about medicine, agriculture, even cosmetics.
Okay, now this is getting really interesting. I can't wait to hear more about those.
All right, let's explore those in part 3.
Okay, so we're back, and I'm ready to hear all about these other uses for L44F.
All right, let's dive in.
We've covered how it could totally change how we keep our food fresh.
Right.
But you mentioned medicine, agriculture, even cosmetics.
Yeah.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
So where do we even begin?
Well, it all goes back to those antimicrobial and antioxidant properties.
Okay.
They have so much potential for tackling various diseases.
So we're talking about more than just like keeping bacteria off our food.
Right.
This could actually fight infections in our bodies.
Exactly. Researchers are looking into how L44F could be a natural alternative to those synthetic antibiotics, which could be huge in the fight against antibiotic resistance.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary problem.
It is. Like, what if the medications we rely on to fight infections just stop working?
Exactly. It's a bit frightening.
Yeah. But L44F works in a way that makes it a lot harder for bacteria to become resistant.
So it's like a new tool in our arsenal.
Exactly.
That's really good news.
It is. And there's even more.
Okay.
The antioxidant power of L44F is showing promise in fighting those chronic conditions.
Like what?
Like cancer and heart disease.
Wow. So it's like this multi-purpose health defender.
You could say that.
Okay, but what about those agricultural applications? How could this help farmers?
Well, imagine if we could protect crops.
Yeah.
From those pests and diseases naturally, without those harsh chemicals.
So like an organic pesticide.
You could think of it that way.
Yeah.
It would be a more sustainable way to protect crops.
Yeah.
And it'd have a much smaller impact on the environment.
For sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
All right. Now for the fun part, cosmetics.
Okay.
How could L44F be good for our skin?
Well, think about what we want in skincare.
Yeah.
Antioxidants to fight aging.
Right.
Antimicrobials to prevent breakouts.
Yeah.
Natural ingredients that are gentle on our skin.
Okay.
And L44F offers all of those.
So it's like a natural all-in-one solution.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And researchers are looking into using it in all sorts of products.
Like what?
From anti-aging creams to acne treatments.
Wow. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
They are, but we need to be realistic.
Okay.
There are limitations.
Right.
Research is still in the early stages.
Yeah.
And we need more studies to really understand the long-term effects of L44F.
Right. And all its potential uses.
Exactly.
So as exciting as all this is,
yeah,
we should be patient and wait for more research.
We should, but even so,
yeah,
those initial findings are really promising.
They are.
And the fact that it could be used for so many things is pretty amazing.
I agree. This deep dive has definitely been an eye-opener.
Good.
It's amazing how nature can offer these incredible solutions to such complex problems.
It makes you realize that there's still so much out there to discover.
Yeah.
And that the future of science and technology might be all about harnessing the power of plants.
That's a great point, and to all our listeners out there.
Yeah.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about L44F.
It's a fascinating topic.
And its potential impact on so many industries.
Keep learning about it.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on as we learn more.
Definitely.
So keep asking questions, keep exploring, and remember, there's always something new to discover on the deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.